Today is 12/5/2024. I'm in my daily puppy avoid pup 64. Today I thought what I'll do is I'll show you how to install two puppy Linux to an internal hard drive in a 32-bit legacy BIOS PC. Typically this will be older PC or laptop. First what I'll do is I'll make a bootable USB drive. USB drive is going to be at SDB, and the easiest way is just to use a Ventoy USB stick. But for the folks that don't know how to make a Ventoy USB stick, which is very easy, I'm gonna just use a DD command, a Linux command. So what we'll do is I've downloaded this Bionic Pup 32, which is what we'll be working with predominantly. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and start a terminal here. So I'm in downloads now, and the DDBS byte size 1M input file is going to be Bionic Pup. And then output file is going to be 2 DEV SD. You have to be very careful, obviously, that you want to make sure that you know it's going to be SDB. So SDB, and you don't need to specify the number of the partition at all. So, and then we'll just use a double and sign and sync to completely unmount after it's done. So we'll just go ahead and enter, and it's gonna create a bootable USB stick, and we'll go ahead and use that to continue on. I've booted it into Bionic Pup 32 using the USB that we prepared with the DD command. That's SDJ, that's the disk USB stick here, and I have another USB stick here that we're gonna simulate it as an internal hard drive, because I've removed all the two internal hard drives in the computer, so you don't see it at all. So here is what I've booted from, and here is a hard drive that we'll go ahead and install it two different puppies. So first thing, and obviously I've managed to install a simple screen recorder and adjusted my sound card so you can I can record this. So we're not even gonna do the first quick setup at all. So we'll just go ahead and cancel this. And the first thing what we'll have to do is we'll have to wipe out the internal hard drive. So SDK. So what we'll do is we'll go to right click, go to setup, go to system, and go to gparted, and then this is SDK. So SDK is right here, and we're going to go ahead and then what we'll do is we'll have to wipe it all out and create, we'll go to create partition table, and MS-DOS is fine for legacy BIOS, and we'll go ahead and wipe that out, and we'll be installing two 32-bit puppy Linux. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and create a new partition, and because we will have to save some so these will be pups. There'll be two puppy 32 bits. So we'll label them as capital pups, and then give it approximately it's more than so we'll give it a little over 2 gig for 2 puppies. So that should be more than enough. And the ext4 is fine. And then because of the uniqueness of Puppy Linux, it does require, or I would strongly suggest that you go ahead and make a separate a save partition. So we'll go ahead and make a save partition here, and we'll make a little bit of leave a little bit for so save partition approximately 20 gig is fine for save partition, and we'll go ahead and label that as capital SAV, and so I left 17 gig is fine, and then I'll go ahead and leave a little bit for data for documents and so on. This is obviously very small hard drive, so we'll go ahead and leave a little bit for Linux swap partition. So generally speaking, though, if you have a computer greater than 4 gig of RAM, you don't really need a swap partition. But we're assuming that you're going to be following this in an older computer with a perhaps 2 to 4 gig RAM. So we'll go ahead and leave this as a data partition for photos and music and so on, and then we'll make this a last one as a Linux swap and enter, and then we'll go ahead and make it a complete apply them all. So we're going to so obviously you're not going to be able to put too much files, documents, music and photos and so on, but this is just a basic tutorial on how to do this setup. So we'll give it a couple of minutes here. While we're waiting, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and put in a another USB stick that already has a Puppy Linux downloaded, so we can go ahead and use those. So this is just another USB stick I just put in just now, and I think it's SDIL. So yes, so it has a Puppy Linux that we'll be using. So so it's still taking some time, so it's completed. Now there's one more thing you need to do. This is going to be bootable USB the bootable hard drive. So you have to go ahead first partition and right click and then manage flags, and you want to make sure that there's a boot that's clicked on. Okay, so now it's going to be bootable hard drive. So we'll go ahead and exit out of there and then exit out. So you can see that there are 3 partitions. The fourth is Linux swap, which does not show here. So now next thing what we want, so we're completed as far as partition. So let me just go ahead and show you where we are. So we'll go ahead and load this up in Genie. So we just completed the partitioning hard drive. Okay, so what we'll do next is to install different puppies, two puppy Linux, and then set up the grub. So next is what we need to do is So this is the first partition of the drive that we just created. So what we'll do here is we're going to make it small first, and then we're going to go to the window and then terminal here. We're gonna make a couple of folders just to make life easier, make directory. So what we'll do is let me see what ISOs I have. So we'll go ahead and put one at focal pup 32, and the other we'll go ahead and use the same pup, so pup 32. So we'll do a focal pup. So make directory, we'll do focal pup 32 and binding pup 32. This is for organization purposes. So we'll go ahead and make these two puppies. So then if you created in a first partition. So we'll go ahead and close this now. What we need to do is manually transfer files into these this partition in the hard drive. So we'll take a closer look at binding pup 32. So we'll go ahead and mount this so we can go ahead and copy the files. Minus will make it much more easier for me to navigate. So what you want to do is click on SFS files. So control and then left click with the mouse, all the SFS files. And then you need two more. You need RD and then VM lens. So these are the files you need to copy into Bionic Pup. So we'll go ahead and drag it and then let go and copy. So we want to just make it go faster. So we're just going to wait until this is done. Maybe a couple, shouldn't be too much longer. Although it is somewhat slow in the USB sticks. So while this is going on, what we can do is also mount the focal pup 32. So here is the focal pup 32 ISO. We'll click it and we'll go ahead and get it all ready. And then again, I want a minus sign here to make it easier for me. And then we're going to get SFS. So control left click mouse. So here's another, it just happens to be 4 files, VM lens and init.rd. Now this one goes into FP. So we're going to copy them again and then do it exactly the same. And this is, we can close that, and then we can close everything. Now we have these two puppies. What we need to do is create a grub for DOS grub. So what we'll do is we'll go to setup and then grub for DOS bootloader configuration for, this is for legacy BIOS. So right now we are using SDK as a bootable, we're setting that up, so that's correct. And we're going to search within only in this device, and we want a menu list, legacy compatible menu list. So we're going to say OK, and then so these two has been recognized. So just to make your life easier, we'll just go ahead and make this BP32, and then next tab, and then next is focal pup 32, and then OK. So we're gonna erase, we don't have Windows, but we're gonna just say OK for now. OK, and then now edit menu list, and then we'll go ahead and take a closer look. So here, first we can do is we can go ahead and erase Windows Advanced Menu. I don't really need that. And then for now, we'll just go ahead and save the menu list. So that's all done. That's all done. So now, when we reboot, I'm going to remove the USB stick that was created with the DD command, and we're just going to use the hard drive to boot from. Now I've successfully booted into the SDJ, which is a single hard drive, into 3 different partitions. And I didn't even complete the setup of the quick setup, but I was able to install the simple screen recorder so I can record this. So let me just go back to this. So the first partition has a FP32, which is what I'm at now. I did confirm that I was able to boot into a Bionic PUP32, so that works fine. And there's a menu list. What we need to do here is to doubly configure a couple of things that we can do to use this more effectively. So we'll just go ahead and load up our menu list in Genie, and then there are two other parameters that PUP SFS makes it to look for the puppy related files much quicker. It doesn't have to go to other partitions and so on to look. So PUP SFS should have a we have named the partition pups, capital pups. So let me just remind you. We'll go back into the gparted, and this is the the hard drive. We're simulating hard drive here. So we had a this here. We gave it a label of pups, capital pups. The save of a partition is capital SAV. So we're gonna use that to so we want the PUP related SFS files to be BP32. So we want these, if you want to boot into BP, you should only look within this here, so it'll boot up quicker. And then the other parameters, PUP save, we want to give SAV and then colon, and then we're gonna make a smaller. So here, this is we're gonna make a new directory here, just the save, SAVE, small letters. So that way you'll save the folder here, save folder underneath here. So we want to, and then the third thing we want to do is we want to likely you want to add no copy without any spaces. Particularly if you have less than 4 gig of RAM, but since I have 8. Although it's 32-bit, we won't make that change here. So, but that's an option. So F, okay. And then let me just make this a line wrapping so it'll be easier. The other, so we want to go ahead and save these transfer these over to, we'll just make a copy, and then we want to similar parameter should be at the this here, except you must make sure that this is FP rather than BP. So now everything is set, and it should save and boot slightly faster. Let me just make sure that when you save, I just don't want a simple screen recorder to mess up, but let's just go ahead and go through the quick setup, and then we're gonna English USA is fine here. We want America, in my case, America, Los Angeles. So we'll just go Los Angeles is fine, and then time from internet is fine. Everything else is okay, and we're gonna click OK. And now we wanna synchronize with each startup. This is good idea. Now we're gonna so what you need to do is, do you want to make a first save? You want to go ahead and go to the leave, reboot, and then save, but I don't want this to so you want to go to save, and then it's going to give you a choice. So what we want to do is save it in two. Okay, so you want to save here. Despite the recommendation, you want to click here and OK, and then I think that I'm not going to mess it up yet. So normal is what you want, and then folder is what you want, and then here you can put whatever if you're going to have a multiple save folders. So we'll go ahead and for, let's say, just for interest, we'll just go ahead and X, and then okay, now it wants to save it in a different folder because right now it is not recognized as save folder that we created. So what you need to do is have a just change folder at this here, and then rather than FP32, what you want to do is just SAVE and then OK. But I'm afraid that it's gonna mess up the screen recorder. So that's what you have to do, just to make a correct first save and then be able to reboot using the save folder within the save partition.